Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to study the basic neurophysiology of the brain. In it, we are going to study the chapter on the nervous system, which has two major divisions, the cells in the nervous system. And in it, we're going to talk about the neurons, the axon, and the myelination concept, the different types of neurons, the glia cells, and the different types of its, and the how the neurons communicate with each other through action potential and through neurotransmission of the synapse. So we're going to also study about the neurotransmitters and their types and how they work. So basically, the cells in the nervous system, it says that there is central nervous system and there is parasympathetic nervous system, which has its cells, which are called the neurons and the glia. So the neurons and the glia around together, they make about 100 billions and more than that. And their connection within each other is very important. uh, what a social life the cells have because they always keep on communicating with each other. So what are the glia cells? The glia cells are not basically they are, it is said that they are glued, but they're not basically glued. They assist in supporting the functions of the central nervous system, like they help in the repair of it, and they help in the shape of it, and they help to develop the neurons. So basically, they have a function in which uh, they work to help the central nervous system and its cells to work effectively. The neurons communicate via electrical signals. This electrical discharge is called a nerve impulse. So we're going to remember that the discharge is known as nerve impulse, and the impulses are very fast. As we know that the impulsive people are very fast. So we're going to remember in this manner that the impulses are very fast, and they're so fast that they work in the order of the milliseconds, and they and can be sent between the neurons of the central nervous system and of the peripheral nervous system. This is peripheral nervous system. And they travel from the neuron in the CNS to the PNS to the other neurons in the central nervous system. So they are very fast and they work in a very, very, very fast manner. So we lose about 36.5 million neurons in a year. So the glue cells, the glial cells, they help to repair them, and they help to support the functions and assist and give the shape to the neurons. It is commonly held view that when neurons died, they died, were not replaced. But the skin and the bone can heal because of stem cells whose job is to regenerate the cells. So stem cells therapy, which is very common nowadays, it is because we can manipulate with the stem cells, which monitor the skin and the bones. Camperman and his team found was that one part of the mouse brain did appear to create neurons, and that is known as hippo. The hippocampus is structure important for the formation of new memories because the research is very new. So there is not a detailed, we don't have any detailed version regarding it. So we're going to see this is the cell body, and the cell body has a nucleus in it. And from it, there are dendrites, apical dendrites, and on there are many dendrites. Dendrites are basically the branches, and the other side of the dendrite is an axon. So axon is a long, thin myelation tube, uh, which runs through from one cell to the other cells to the dendrites of the other cells. So the axon have the nodes of Renvir in it, and it is a myelin sheath, and it is an axon. And there is a typical word called hillock. The hillock is basically uh, thick in structure, because the electric impulse has to jump from it, and it goes through the node of Renvir. Renvir, there it also takes a break. It jumps from the Renvir, and there is a myelin sheath, and it keeps on working is this in this manner. The impulses from the electric impulse, the message from the dendrites goes into the nucleus, and there it starts, runs away from the axon to the dendrites of the other neuron. There they meet, the dendrites meet the other dendrites with the help of the presynaptic terminals. Their presynaptic terminals is that there is a gap which opens and closes, and where the communication between the cells is found. We're going to study about it in a later topic.